Welcome to the New Covenant podcast, where we use the teaching of the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church to navigate life in the New Covenant.
What's up?
What's up, dude?
How you doing?
We missed a week, but we're back.
Well, it's a holiday week too.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving's, but I'm just trying to get my life in order. But
My
yeah,
life's perfectly in order.
yeah. So, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm vibing, chilling, surviving, going through Advent, second week of Advent right now, as of recording this. Second week, right?
It is the second week of Advent.
Or is it the third week?
It's the second week of Advent. See, he ain't serious about his faith like that. See, I'm serious about my faith like that because I be going to the
2 Sundays.
because I be going to that Latin mass, and that's how you know I'm serious about my faith like that.
It's been 2 Sundays, so isn't this the third?
That was the second week. I understand what you're saying. It's the second week because then the Sunday is when the third week starts.
But there's been 2 Sundays.
Yeah, so we're in the second week.
But isn't it like you got a week and then you got Sunday? Well,
No,
I guess technically...
No, because it starts with the
I
Sunday.
guess it does start with a Sunday.
See, that's what I'm saying. He ain't serious about his faith like that, and I'm.
Sunday's the weekend.
It's the end of the week, but it's the start.
It's actually Sunday is the first day of the week.
Yes, it is the first day of the week. Which
Just generally.
Real quick, just kind of on that. No, it's not. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's like technically the first day of the week, but like it's not. It's not at all.
Yeah, it is.
When have you ever thought of Sunday as being like, oh, this is the first
As soon as I got baptized.
This is the first day of the week. Monday is the start of the week. Okay? Like, psychologically,
It's the start of the work week.
just in my mind.
I guess if your life revolves around just your work, like a soulless cog in the machine, then you would say that.
And that is how I live. No.
Okay. Do you have any idea what we're talking about today?
No idea. What are we talking about?
We're going to talk about sports.
Sports.
We're going to talk about sports.
What kind of sports? Like, what do you mean?
What kind of sports do you like? No, I'm joking. No, we're going to talk about the theological benefit of sports today.
Okay.
As best we can.
Yeah. So what is the theological benefit of
Well, hold on, dog. You can do the whole episode right now? No. First, we have to...
Go ahead, start with your main point.
First, we have to start with a intro. So, tell me about your experience with sports.
Yeah, I've never really had with traditional sports, I've never really had too much of a experience. Just like...
You were never on a football team?
I was on the football team, but, it was never like the center of my life.
I don't think the mic can pick that up.
I think it will. Anyways, but seventh grade, A team, 8th grade, A team football, but I was like third string.
I was on B team, but they just like lined us up in height order and was like, bloop.
I would have rather been on B team because I think I would have gotten like more playing time. But I was on the A team for 7th and 8th grade football. And then that was pretty much it. That's like the extent of my traditional sports.
Sick.
Yeah, football was really fun.
I loved playing football. I didn't love it enough to like play it in high school.
Oh yeah, and then we were in the same wrestling weight class my freshman year.
Yeah,
and
we wrestled through high school.
And I actually wrestled only my freshman year, and I lost every.
Wrestle any other year?
Nope, I lost every single match. You
didn't wrestle 2 years?
You remember when we wrestled? No, you weren't there. We wrestled Klein. You know how Klein is like known for their wrestling, like big wrestling school. Yeah. So there's this high school, crazy high school, known for their wrestling. And I just got off a match. I'm a junior varsity. I just like wrestled my heart out. I'm like throwing up in the trash can, and then I'm like hobbling up the bleachers, and then I just hear Isaac, and I'm like, what? And they're like, we need you to wrestle this varsity match, this 132 varsity match. McCoy's not here. And I'm like, are you serious? And then so they were like, yeah, just we just need you to do it.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be Klein, so no.
We're like, we just need you to do it. So like, no break in between the first match and the second match. I just lost my junior varsity match. I'm throwing up, hobbling up the stairs.
Did you get dogged?
I got dogged. I got pinned in like 30 seconds, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
At least you were like, okay, sweet, I'll go back sit down.
Exactly.
No, dude, I loved wrestling. I often want to wrestle again, but I feel like now it's weird.
No, you can just join a wrestling club.
Yeah, I should do that. I want to wrestle again. But wrestling was super fun. So, what did wrestling and football teach you before we get into like what we do now?
Yeah, I don't think that it taught me anything. Not because like it can't teach me anything, but because at that point in my life I wasn't cognitively mature enough to even formulate a life lesson from it. If you know what I mean. Looking back at it now, I would say like it's okay to lose, and I should have used my losses as a learning experience to get better and grow.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably should have done that. Okay. No, yes. So, yeah, I think, especially in wrestling, it teaches you, like, how would you say? Like, delayed gratification, because you're not going to be immediately good at, especially wrestling. Like, you got to learn a lot of the basic technique before you start, like, being able to effectuate it. So that's one thing. One thing I liked about football was like being on a team. I was like, yeah. Like the team aspect of football was really cool. You know what I'm saying? Like before games, everybody's like in the bus.
Right. The camaraderie and yeah,
chanting and stuff. It's pretty sick. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we both played football and we wrestled in high school, and then what happened?
Then we both started parkour.
Yeah, baby.
We both started parkour.
Yeah, baby.
We started at a parkour club, this unofficial parkour club.
Yeah, because they denied the club.
Yeah,
it was too dangerous.
Yeah, it was too dangerous. Well, football is certainly way more dangerous than
Remember that
parkour
packet
is.
I put together?
Yeah.
I put a packet together for like the principal to like see, and I like I explained parkour, what it was. I like gave statistics on other sports and like their injuries.
Yeah.
And then I like went into like how parkour like we train to like lessen injuries like specifically, and they were like, no, it's too dangerous.
You're like, nope. I'm like, did you even read it?
No, they didn't read it.
No, absolutely not. They probably just saw parkour.
Yeah.
They're probably like, what is that? Like looked up one video or something.
Yeah.
And they were like, we are not doing this.
Yeah. So we did it anyway, unofficially.
Did it anyway, which is
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. We started with like 20 people, and then it just kind of fizzled out over time.
Yeah.
To just me and you.
Yeah. We like made people watch like videos.
Yeah.
We're like, everybody sit down.
Everybody sit down and watch this.
It was pretty cool. It was nice. And then shortly after that, I think you were working before you graduated too, right? Or after you graduated?
I don't remember.
Anyway, before I graduated high school, I actually like left the wrestling team because I got a job coaching parkour, and the coach was super mad about that. He was like, "What?
Yeah.
Why would you do this?" He was like, "You can do this at any point." I was like, "No, bro, I got a job now. I got responsibilities."
I can't be wasting my time.
I was like,
I can't be wasting my time with this wrestling stuff.
I was like the team captain, so it was like,
I gotta go pursue this serious endeavor.
well, hey, I'm still doing it.
Of parkour.
I'm still working and coaching it, so it's not like I did it for like
It's true.
a little bit.
It's true.
But yeah, so that led into the job that we have now, which is, I think we've mentioned this before, but I coach gymnastics and parkour and a little bit of Ninja Warrior because that's what our gym does. Ninja's cool.
It's cool.
That's all right.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's fine. The people are fine. No, it's actually like a pretty cool sport. It's very, very niche. Oh, I almost feel like Ninja's more niche than parkour sometimes. because it's like you can't go like out and do ninja.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you mean.
Like
Yeah.
parkour, I can I'm gonna go flip in the grass.
Parkour is. I would say it's more. I would say parkour is more niche. Just
Maybe
because
because they have a show.
they have Ninja has so much. They have
Yeah.
they.
They have a lot of infrastructure now,
There's so much. Yeah. Ninja's a great sport.
which we should emulate, which I've been trying to get people to understand for a long time.
It'll never happen. It'll never happen with parkour.
It'll happen.
No, the parkour people they won't let it happen.
I know that's why we gotta train up an entire generation of people who don't care about that nonsense.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and then once everybody's making money, they'll be like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that ninja guy just sold NSC.
He sold it?
Is it NSC?
He finally sold NSC?
I think so. It might not be NSC. Is that the guy who was trying to sell it?
You mean Swanson?
Maybe.
Ethan Swanson? He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Maybe.
No idea what you're talking about.
No, I don't know that much about Ninja. But I know some dude just sold a league for like a good amount of money. Ryan was talking about it.
Oh, really? It might be NSC.
Or TNL or whatever. I know one league that we dropped. But anyway.
WNL.
Oh, yeah, it was WNL. This means nothing to anybody. To anybody listening.
Yeah,
So anyway, we've built our livelihood around sports and around teaching sports. So, what do you think the overall benefit of sports to society is, or what it should be in a Catholic context?
What do I think the overall benefit to sports to a society
why
is?
do humans do sport? What is it? Why do we do that?
Yeah, if I had to philosophize or pontificate on why we do sport, probably for a sense of self-mastery. I think if you're gonna put yourself, if you're gonna pit yourself against somebody else, you have to train yourself up, and in order to train yourself up in a way that is sufficient, you have to have discipline and self-mastery. I think humans are wired to be ordered a certain way. Mm-hmm. I think we're wired to be ordered for discipline and self-mastery. And sport gives us an outlet for that, to practice that in our life. Even on a secular level, we have to be disciplined in something, because I think that's just the way that we're ordered. What do you think?
Yes, I think one of the benefits is obviously self-mastery. There's also the aspect of community in the sport,
Right.
Which kind of leads into the whole Christian thing of kind of being a self-sacrifice for the benefit of a community or for the benefit of a whole, which can very easily be mirrored to the benefit of Christ and the work that priests do,
Right.
and stuff of this nature. Because especially in team sports, not so much in individual sports, but it's still there in individual sports, because you do train as a team in most individual sports. You train with a group of people, right? And they're all working towards a goal of betterment, right? So I think the community aspect is something that is a large benefit of it, because in our modern times, there's a lot of that is missing, right? So the life of a parish is kind of diluted. Even the life that you have in a school, unless you're in a private school where there's not a lot of people, the community is pretty diluted. But sports allows a solid community, especially for youth people, to pursue a goal all together, right? And even in school, it's we've kind of lost the pursuing of a goal in school, because most people most kids don't care. Really.
Yeah.
That's the reality of the situation. But in sports, they do care, right? Mm-hmm. And a little bit, you got to guard against pride and stuff like that. But I think it is a good teaching tool for how to live in a community and serve a community, right? Because if you're the one falling behind, you don't want to be the one falling behind in your team or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And that, works into all kinds of stuff later on in life, like your work environment and stuff like that. You don't want to be the one falling behind in your work environment and drag it down your team and stuff like that, or also just in your spiritual life. So let's see what some popes have to say about sports. So this is Pope Pius XII in 1945. He's addressing the Italian League of Athletes, like right after World War II. And he says, in our time, organized sports sometimes seems conditioned by the logic of profit. Okay? Even in 1945, they were saying this. Of the spectacular, of doping, exasperated rivalry, and episodes of violence. It is also your task to proclaim, and this is him talking to this assembly, it is your task to proclaim and to witness the humanizing power of the gospel with regard to the practice of sports, which, if lived in accordance with the Christian outlook, becomes a generative principle of profound human relations and encourages the building of a more serene and supportive world, right? So that generative principle is kind of what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
Meaning that, okay, the practice of sport is a principle that in itself generates, or can generate, if you do it right, a life of virtue, right? So you have the self-denial, basically, of training, right? So, like, you're not always going to want to train your sport, right? But if you want to help your team succeed, then you have to deny yourself and do that anyway.
In service for the team.
Right, so that generates a virtue of, almost like a penance-like virtue. Also, the sense of community, kind of putting others before yourself. It also generates that virtue of charity.
Yeah, because we're definitely, made for community. We're definitely made to be, we're not meant to be alone. I think that, even if you're, losing every game or every match or whatever, you can still be sustained by the people around you. Like, if you have, a good relation with, your teammates, but you just suck, just, as a player, I think that'll just, that keeps you there because of the community and the people around you.
Yeah, I mean, even in our own coaching world, we've seen, we have a competitive team for parkour, and, a lot of those kids
suck. No.
A lot of those kids are not getting any other type of community activity.
Yeah. And we've also seen, kids who are great at parkour, love it, but they don't have the community, and so they don't stay.
Yeah, a lot of them, whether it be they just don't mesh very well with the kids that we have there, or they're in a different area. Yeah, so. So I think the virtue of charity and being in community is very tied up with the practice of sport in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did JP2 say about it? Okay, this is John Paul II in 2000. I think he's talking to the Olympic Committee. And he quotes Corinthians where Paul is like, do you know that in a race all runners compete, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may attain it. And, he's obviously making the parallel to the spiritual life, right? So what parallels do sports have to the practice of the spiritual life and virtue and all that?
Yeah, like we've already said, it's there's this self-sacrificing, self-giving aspect of it for the community. We have the, obviously the community aspect of being in relation with others, for others. And I think, like we said before, there's also that self-discipline that, Paul says, I forget where, he says, I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave, so that whenever I preach the gospel, I forget what the exact verse is, but I know he says, I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave. And so there's this aspect of making your body your slave, being able to have complete and total command of your body, so that sport opens that pursuit up to somebody's life. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on. So JP2 says, in Corinth, where Paul had brought the message of the gospel, there was a very important stadium where the Isthmian Games were held. So it was appropriate then for Paul to refer to athletic contexts in order to spur the Christians of that city to push themselves to the utmost in the race of life. This is why I think sports right now can be a strong apostolate. There's been sports apostolates in the past, but because it's so prevalent in modern culture, like even Paul is using the things that people are interested in to evangelize them, right?
Right.
So anyway, he goes on, with this metaphor of healthy athletic competition, he highlights the value of life, comparing it to a race not only for an earthly passing goal, but for an eternal one, a race in which not just one person, but everyone can be a winner. With this celebration, the world of sports is joining in a great chorus, as it were, to express through prayer, song, play, and movement a hymn of praise and thanksgiving to the Lord.
Yeah.
It is a fitting occasion to give thanks to God for the gift of sport, in which the human person exercises his body, intellect, and will, recognizing these abilities as so many gifts of his Creator. So, what do you think about sports being a, how would you say, a hymn, like JP2 says, or a thanksgiving to God for your natural physical abilities?
Yeah. I mean, I think that if so, if you're born with a healthy body capable of performing, I think a thanksgiving or a form of offering to God is to use it to its fullest capacity possible. So, like, if I can run, I'm going to run unto, as an offering unto God, just because He's given me that gift. Because there's people that can't. There's people that can't walk or whatever. Just like how, if you're born blessed enough to read or cognitively understand like complex things, I think you should pursue that to its fullest capacity possible, in the pursuit of God, and that is like a thanksgiving unto Him.
Yeah, so it kind of goes into a little bit about what we were trying to get at in the Holy Name article, or in the Holy Name episode, when we were talking about like the body as an altar, right? So the body as an altar on which you sacrifice your own, passions and your own self to God for your advancement in the spiritual life. So if we look at the body as an altar, right, putting it through a sport or putting it through a discipline, is kind of akin to like a monastic style bodily penance, right? So like, scourging or something like that to a lesser degree. I don't recommend anybody scourges themselves unless you're like very close with the spiritual director. But so the body as an altar, okay, right? We know the body is good because creation is good, right? But we also know that the body has been corrupted, right, by the fall. So it tends towards things that are not of God, right? So we need a corrective system, which is what penance is. We need a corrective system to make reparation for the misuse of our body. And in so doing that, right, that kind of leads to the Christian ideal of sport, which is not necessarily using sport as an advancement of your own personal goals, right, but as a disciplinary practice, right? So, if you're winning or losing, you're offering it up.
Yeah.
Okay? It's kind of a detachment training almost.
Yeah.
Like a way of bodily practicing detachment. Also, again, just to hit on the community aspect, right, we have kind of almost like a lay communion of people going towards one goal, which I think is very importante. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, that's a really good point. Whether you're winning or whether you're losing, it's an offering unto God. And I've been reading this book called Searching for and Maintaining Peace. Or I read it. I'm already done with it. Anyways, I read this book called Searching for and Maintaining Peace, and the main point of the book is Satan will try to make you fight the wrong battle. And so the wrong battle is to try and win every battle. That's the wrong battle. So like if we're like battling a sin in our life, the wrong battle is to try to overcome the sin every single time and never sin and always win. That's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
The right battle is to not lose your peace, even if you do sin. So even if you do sin, you should keep your peace and maintain your prayer life as if nothing had happened. Obviously, like go to confession, do your penance, and try to not do it again. But you shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, you shouldn't like lose your peace over it.
Yeah.
And so, if we can kind of take that to sport, the worst thing that you can do if you lose is to lose your peace over it. And if you think about it as an offering to God, whether you win or whether you lose, that will help with not losing your peace.
Yeah.
Right? So like, it doesn't matter if I win. It doesn't matter if I lose. It's all unto God, right? And just on to the next kind of thing, as if nothing had happened.
Yeah, it's like that, man, who is it? I can't remember. Some saying it's like you fall 1,000 times, but like it's a joy to get up and like just get back after it. Basically, I don't remember the exact quote, but it's like don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just don't torture yourself or stop torturing yourself or something like that. Okay, so JP2 goes on, and this is kind of later in the speech, but he says, because of the global dimensions this activity has assumed, obviously talking about sports, those involved in sports throughout the world have a great responsibility. They are called to make sports an opportunity for meeting and dialogue over and above every barrier of language, race, or culture. Sports, in fact, can make an effective contribution to peaceful understanding between peoples and to establishing a new civilization of love. The Great Jubilee year of 2000 invites each and every person to engage seriously in reflection and conversion. Can the world of sport excuse itself from this providential spiritual dynamism? No. On the contrary, the importance of sports today invites those who participate in them to take this opportunity for an examination of conscience. It is important to identify and promote the many positive aspects of sports, but it is only right also to recognize the various transgressions to which it can succumb. So what are the transgressions to which sports can succumb? So, like, what are the bad aspects of sports that we got to watch out for?
Yeah, you are not your accomplishments or your failures. I think that's a real easy thing for athletes to get lost in. It's like if they lose and lose and lose and lose, the natural response to that for a lot of athletes, especially young athletes, is I'm a loser. You are not your accomplishments, and you are not your failures.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like I would say, just come like off the top of my head, that's the
Yeah, I think so too. Like, especially coaching higher level gymnastics, which are like, girls, 11 to 18 or whatever. Very emotional time to be a girl, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know from firsthand. Well, I kind of know from firsthand because I deal with it all the time. But there's a lot of emotional stress tied up in sports and the way that they perform. And we have to deal with those problems a lot in that sport in particular because, you're up there by yourself whenever you're competing gymnastics. And, like, everybody's eyes are on you, right? And it is an individual sport, but you do get scored as a team, right? So if you're doing bad, you're kind of dragging down everybody else. And it can become, like, a big source of, like, defeatism and anxiety, especially in younger athletes. And, like, it was also, when I was more active in the competitive parkour scene, it is hard not to get, like, wrapped up in whether you're winning or losing.
Yeah.
And it's even harder when you're like emotionally underdeveloped as a child to like separate your self-worth from your performance. So that is definitely one thing that a good coach can remedy, right? But it is like I'm pretty sure it's prevalent in every sport.
Absolutely.
Through all levels, professional and down the line.
For adults even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it like everything, it has its good sides and its bad sides. But I think that's a big thing to not fall into. And it's also a big lesson that can be taught through sports.
Yeah.
I don't really know another concrete way of getting that lesson across that comes to mind, right? Like, how are you going to teach people that they're not the sum of their performance?
Right. The only way that I could think of is like just living the spiritual life.
Yeah.
That's literally the only other way that I
mean,
can
but,
think
like,
of. Yeah.
For youth,
Yeah.
like, that's hard to communicate
That's
in a
right.
spiritual life.
That's right.
Because
that's right.
They're still learning about what the spiritual life is and what it means and
Yeah.
what like they don't know about Trinity.
They don't know about that.
No, some of them do.
They knew to Earth.
They do to Earth. So in 2005, there is what's called the Pontifical Council for the Laity, right, which is like this office of the Vatican, and they put out this statement called The World of Sports Today. And in here they say, the emotional and not infrequently all-embracing involvement that practicing sports and watching sports events can generate, coupled with the process of globalization and modern communication technologies, makes this a force that produces powerful experiences, but also gives rise to serious risks. Today, sports is in the hands of an influential and lucrative leisure industry, which produces dreams of power and success in millions of individuals. Sport is often experienced as a kind of ecstasy, a way of evading the drabness of daily life. It has been said that in sport we can recover a euphoric sense of wholeness, autonomy, and power that are often denied in the humdrum routine, which is the destiny of most men and women. In many people's life, sports have acquired an importance that goes beyond that of mere amusement or entertainment. For many of our contemporaries, sports has become a way of life, an essential element for meeting basic needs such as self-esteem and self-fulfillment, and a factor that not only determines a sense of identity and belonging, but also the meaning of life itself. It is not all. Sports has become, in every respect, a surrogate for religious experience.
Yeah.
It is a paradoxical fact that in our secularized society, sports events have taken on the character of collective rituals fraught with emotion. Stadium and gymnasiums are like temples to this new religion. And this process, which is typical for our present age, is accompanied by radical changes in relations between people and their bodies. For we have moved beyond concern for personal health and personal grooming to the worship of the body in its physical dimension. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's basically like a replacement for the spiritual life, or it can be a replacement for the spiritual life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the temptation. That's the thing you really want to avoid, because like the human curse, I guess, is to earn to put it in these words, simple terms, to earn your way to heaven. You're like what we're saying, like I'm a summation of my accomplishments. So if I win, that means I'm worthy enough of accolades and praise and money and fame or whatever. As long as so in that sense, it is it can be a replacement. The danger is it can be a replacement for the spiritual life, because us as humans, the fall is caused by pride. I can be my own God, and so we want to be responsible for our own salvation. We want to be like, no. I want to be the one to do everything and to take it all upon myself and to work and accomplish. And so then I'll be good. As long as I win this game, as long as I do that, as long as I get this physique, as long as I, lift this number or do this jump or whatever, it could be. That is the danger, right? Is it could be a replacement for the spiritual life, and the spiritual life is surrendering everything to God. But sport, we have a responsibility of training ourselves up.
Yeah.
And so we can fall into the danger of like, I'm going to take everything upon myself, which there is a place for that, sort of in a sense, but you just don't want to get lost in it.
I think also it's like, it is a myth when you get into this type of training, which happens, a lot, especially for higher caliber athletes, right? You are subordinating your will and your intellect and your body to the wrong end, which is like personal gratification, right? So this is where you get like, okay, I'm going to subordinate my body to the virtue of winning, and I'm going to do anything that it takes, right? I'm going to work out as much as I can. I'm going to like dope up, I'm going to even go through like whatever, like surgical treatments that maybe I don't need, like say I have like some kind of busted knee that maybe I could just rehab normally, but I got to get out there like as soon as possible, so I'm going to go through this surgery. So you're subordinating what is your, I guess, could be called your primary gift in this world from God, which is your body, right? You're subordinating that to your own personal goals and your personal ideal of what you think is best, instead of subordinating your intellect and will and your body to the pursuit of the knowledge of God, which is obviously a bad thing, right? Our goal as humans generally overall is to subordinate ourselves to the will of God. That is what the entire Bible is trying to teach everybody. Not only that, it's trying to teach a lot of things, but one of the main things is being subordinate to God's
It's trying to teach a lot of,
Yeah. So like, so it's, there is a danger in sports where you can make it an idol, right? Where
absolutely.
You can make your own personal progression an idol, and it's very easy to get wrapped up in that life, especially as a young athlete, but also if your like livelihood is dependent upon your athletic performance. That's tough. Like, it's tough to separate your personal goal from what you actually need spiritually, if like you make your money by performing in that way.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, especially in like the developmental years of a child, because their identity is going to get fused with their sport, or it can at least, and it's very easy for it to get fused with their sport. And that's a false identity.
Mm-hmm.
That's not who they really are, right? As a Christian, your true identity is a beloved son or daughter of God. That's who you truly are. Mm-hmm. I think it was Dostoevsky says something like, to love someone is to see them as God intended them. Mm-hmm. And so to love somebody is to see them as in their true identity. If you get wrapped up in your sport is a false identity. Your accomplishments, your wins, your losses, all that. That's not who you are. You're not a summation of any of those things. Yeah. And you like how you're saying you can make those things an idol.
Yeah. Very easily.
Very easily. And that's really the danger. I think to keep your head on straight is just to know who you truly are. Who is your true self and what is your false self, essentially.
Yeah. So John Paul II said, in addition to sports that helps people, there is another that harms them. In addition to a sport that enhances the body, there is another that degrades it and betrays it. In addition to a sport that pursues noble ideals, there is another that looks only for profit. In addition to a sport that unites, there is another that divides. He was deeply convicted despite this ambivalence. I don't know what that word is.
Ambivalence?
No, that's not it. Ambivalence. like two meanings, basically. Practicing sport must be considered not only as a source of physical well-being, but also an ideal of courageous, positive, and optimistic life as a means whereby individuals and society can fully renew themselves. Right. So, basically, the church's thoughts on the sport is that it's good. It's generally good. But it has a real danger of, like, being reduced to kind of what we were talking about, right? So, where do coaches come in to play this role of keeping it from veering into a prideful, kind of self-consuming practice, in your opinion?
Yeah, yeah. A coach's job is really really important because you can amplify that, or you could nip it in the bud and reorder it
Yeah.
into where it's ordered and not disordered. Yeah, so I would say, like, as a coach, you should probably teach your kids how to lose.
Yeah.
I think really, and how to win as well. But you're probably going to encounter losing more than you encounter winning, unless you have some sort of like crazy talented, super gifted kid.
Yeah.
But
Which does happen.
Which does happen, yes. And then at that point you have to teach them how to win, how to not get super super prideful. But you're probably more likely than not you're going to encounter loses. You're going to encounter losses way more. So teaching them how to lose, the Bruce Lee philosophy of the art of dying. You need to be okay with it. Don't get wrapped up in it. Don't lose your peace. Don't lose your peace. It's even as like on a secular level. Because you can't teach every kid, like, hey, just offer it to God. You can't do you can't do that. So on a secular level, you should be grateful for your losses because it shows you where you need to get better. A champion, for every champion that I've seen essentially in every sport, is almost kind of like looking to lose because they see, if they lose, they see what they need to fix and work on, and they're grateful for their losses. Ultimately, it's because they don't lose their peace from a loss. If they lose and they're like distraught and scrupulous and losing their peace about it, it's harder. Their mind is clouded, and it's harder for them to learn a valuable lesson from that experience.
Yeah.
But if you can maintain your peace, learn from your loss, and even in a lot of ways be grateful for your loss,
Yeah.
I think that's huge.
Yeah,
And
it's probably the easiest parallel to get to a kid and teach them lessons about like the spiritual life in general, because it's something concrete. It's physical in front of them.
Yeah.
It's they can't lie about their results.
Right.
Right. Like
It's very objective.
Yeah. And and there's also this aspect of like as a coach you have like a higher spiritual responsibility, right? Like
For sure.
we're told that teachers are going to be judged harder than other people, right? If you have people under your care, especially children, you're going to be judged for your actions in accordance with those children, like very harshly at the day of judgment.
Yeah.
So not only is it like a duty that you have for these other people, but you also got to not lead them into something that's going to damage them spiritually, because you will eventually have to answer for that. Which is like scary also to think about sometimes, as a coach, being a coach for like 9 or 10 years now, right? And not being a Catholic that whole time. But like as soon as I converted to Catholicism, I was like, okay, we gotta tighten up, make sure that we're leading the kids that parents put under your care and trust in your care. You're leading them to sanctification somehow in the best way that you can possibly, right? And I think this is what makes coaches and teachers and educators and stuff so important. but also it's actually a great burden to be a coach spiritually, right? Because it's almost like not an amalgamation. It's almost like a mirror of being a priest.
Sure.
Right? So you have this type of priesthood, this type of apostolate, where you have these athletes in your care, and any coach can tell you that you're not just coaching like the techniques of a sport when you're coaching somebody, right? You're coaching their entire human person.
Right.
Because, first of all, to get just in a fully economical sense of the sport, right? To get the best performance out of somebody, they have to be emotionally stable and there, and understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. But in the spiritual aspect, right? If all you're doing is pushing and correcting and castigating an athlete, then you're damaging them spiritually, right? You're damaging their self-esteem.
Yeah.
You're putting certain images in their psyche that will probably stick with them for a long time, which you shouldn't do, right? You should be trying to cultivate a sense of virtue in the sense that, okay, I'm doing this sport, okay, but I'm not necessarily doing the sport for the sake of the sport. And I'm not necessarily doing the sport for the sake of myself, right? But I'm doing it to teach me some other bigger virtue that maybe the athlete doesn't even recognize yet. But that's kind of your end goal as a coach, is to get them to understand the bylines between regular life and sports life.
Yeah.
And making it one cohesive picture of virtue. So the coach's job is hard, all right? They're often underappreciated. Not just saying that because I'm a coach.
Thankless job.
Thankless job. No, but it's very important because, as we know, teachers nowadays are not very good at doing this particular thing.
Yeah.
Right? Especially cultivating virtue, especially in public schools.
Yeah.
Right? So, a lot of the times, if a kid comes from a not religious household, he goes to a public school, and he just, they happen to get into, if you're an extracurricular coach, right, like we are, meaning that we're not in a school, that might be the only opportunity they have to see the Christian virtues practiced, right?
Right.
And that is probably the case for 90% of young athletes in America.
Yeah.
Right?
This
Especially
is good.
from a Catholic context, right?
Yeah.
It's probably the only opportunity they have to have a authority figure that is concerned with their spiritual well-being.
Yeah,
especially if they're not in a parish or a church
or any sort of spiritual life.
Or
I've heard
in a Protestant church.
There's a saying that I've heard is you are, a lot of the times you are the only Bible people are ever going to read.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say. Yeah.
So it's even if they're in a parish and they have a healthy parish life, depending on the size of their parish, okay, they're just from a Catholic context, right? They're CTE or whatever it is, CTE.
That's a head
right?
It's head trauma.
Thing.
Yeah.
What is CCE?
What are you referring to?
The school, the Catholic formation school, when you go to get confirmed and stuff.
OCIA?
No, that's for converts.
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm talking about when you
for
grow
kids.
Up, yeah, when you
no idea.
Yeah, well, we didn't grow up Catholic, but when you grow up Catholic, right? You're supposed to in your
CTE.
parish, I think it's CCE. I think it's CCE. But let me look at that. That's the only time.
That's the football head.
Continuing Christian education. It's a parish-based religious formation.
CCE.
Yeah, so when you because you don't get confirmed when you get baptized as a child, right? You wait till you graduate high school or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure when the time frame is, but you go through this period of religious education that unless you go to a Catholic school, it's like separated from your school, right? So, barring that, that might be the only time somebody is like truly evangelizing you, unless you have really good parents. But it's also like for youth, I feel like as soon as you start explicitly talking about faith without showing them it, they kind of turn their brain off. Right? So coaches have a little bit more of an inroad to get to spiritual lessons than the normal, religious educator, because we get to show, like, the virtues of the Catholic life by, like, very concretely. By saying, okay, look, you're mad or whatever. Okay, you're down low. All right, or whatever. But we got to give it up. We got to keep pushing forward to advance ourselves in this goal that we're doing, right? And then, you can translate that to the spiritual life. But for a child, they have to see it. They have to experience it, right? So a child is not necessarily going to be, like, wrapped up in, like, their sin and, like, guilty. Like, it's not like feeling guilty and defeated by their sin. But they will feel guilty and defeated if they're not performing up to par or to your expectations that you set for them.
Absolutely.
And then it's your job to kind of go back in there as a coach and be like, look, you're not up to par right now. But that is also okay.
Yeah.
Here are the things that we need to do to get you up to par. Okay, and you're going to have to suffer a little bit to get to this point.
Here's a straight and narrow path that you have to walk through.
And it's going to hurt a little bit, right? Like, it's actually going to, like, physically be demanding.
Yes.
But it's also going to be mentally strenuous.
You're not going to want to do it.
But
at the end,
I am the guy who says, yes, it's mentally strenuous. It's, like, physically demanding. But, like, you are able to do it.
Yeah, you're able to do it.
If you trust in, the laws of the sport.
I'm not going to give you something that you can't do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you more than what you can handle.
And when you can't do it, I'm not going to castigate you.
Right. Yeah.
For it. I'm going to say, yeah, of course you can't do it. You're learning.
Yeah, exactly.
You're learning how to operate as a human. Right. So.
And at the end, you're going to find a lot of joy.
It's going to be sick.
Yeah, it's going to be great. You're going to be ripped. No.
Yeah, you're going to be ripped. But so, yeah, I think coaches have a very tough job, and a spiritually almost, I don't want to say dangerous, but it's almost kind of dangerous. Because, like, you're going to be held to account for the things that you teach and the way that you operate, especially in accordance with children because of the millstones and all this, right? And just because children are so impressionable, like, if you're not careful, you can leave it like a pretty big mental barrier in a kid.
Yeah, you can really amplify some bad things that are going on in their head.
Yeah. And if you're, like, the one person that is, like, outside of their normal operations, right? Like, they're like, okay, I go here, and it's, like, my thing, and I don't have to deal with the stress from school or whatever, and that also becomes, like, a stressful castigation of, like, them failing over and over again. That's not going to help, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think coaches and teachers have a tough job. I think a lot of them are...
Terrible?
Yeah. A lot of them are very bad and will, they'll be held to account. It's not my job to do that. But there will be
vengeance is the Lord's. Yeah.
Vengeance belongs to the Lord. And, man, especially this public school stuff. It's not good.
It's not.
It's not good. And I went to public school, and it wasn't even good when I went.
Yeah, seriously.
It was very bad.
Seriously. All right.
It's very bad.
Nice. I love this. Cool. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. If you're involved with any sport, offer it up to God.
Watch out. No.
Watch out. Yeah. If you're an athlete yourself, offer it to God.
Also, if you're not an athlete, like
start becoming an athlete.
If you just have a practice of like fitness,
yeah,
you should order that to God.
Yeah, or even anything like wood carving or any artistic sort of endeavor. Like
yes, but I think, like, yes, right? But I think,
But no.
well, no. I think this, like, sports, fitness, health, all have a real danger, and it easily, it's like very easy to go
Yep.
into a prideful space.
Absolutely. It's so easy.
Super, especially with the fitness.
Especially if you were like on ESPN 2 times and you just embarrassed yourself in front of the entire world.
Especially if you're on ESPN
And
2 times and you got your tags.
And you didn't get your tags. It's so easy for that to eat you alive.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with anything.
No, like it literally, it means nothing. Like
No, it does mean nothing. And it took me a very, very long time to come to terms with that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it like dictated my entire life.
Yeah, really the
For
only
a few
thing
years.
that ever matters is like your personal relationship with God.
The only thing that ever matters is you playing tag on TV.
winning. But yeah, so like especially with just fitness in general, like gym culture and everything, it's like we were talking about this the other day. Where like if we owned like a LA Fitness, we'd like ban phones.
Banning phones. I'm
gyms.
banning phones for sure.
Because it's like you're not here.
Stop taking pictures of yourself.
I got a mirror. You can check your phone.
Also, you have to wear gray sweatpants and a gray hoodie, and that's all you're allowed to wear.
And a beanie and a mask.
You're not allowed. And a beanie and a mask. Yeah, you're not allowed to like style an outfit for your workout.
Yeah. Like,
Also, if you're a guy and you're styling an outfit for the gym,
put on a hoodie, dog.
You're gay.
Put on a hoodie, bro.
That's gay.
Put on a hoodie.
Put on a hoodie, put on a black hoodie with some black pants and some black shoes. Put some headphones over your hood, put on a mask, be noticed by nobody. Why are you trying to be noticed?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to be noticed?
Yeah.
What do you care? Are you trying to match your shoes to your shirt? Sorry, that's gay. That's super gay.
Don't like it.
But
yeah, it's like, it's very prideful. I really wish the fitness industry wasn't like that, but I mean, you have the whole thing of like, okay, your body image or whatever, and that just automatically leads to like a prideful place.
Yeah.
Right? It stops being about health like almost immediately.
Yeah, you want your deltoids to be bigger for the sake of them being big. My delts. I need my shoulders to pop.
Yeah, that's why I've always been a proponent of like use. That's why I've always been like weightlifters are like.
Yeah.
Okay, not weightlifting itself.
Bodybuilding. Bodybuilding. Okay, just real quick. Bodybuilding is gay.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's a male beauty pageant.
It is a male beauty pageant.
Because you're just making your muscles bigger for the sake of aesthetics, and you're just getting up there and you're just doing a beauty pageant.
Yeah, you are.
Like literal, like in every like 1-to-1 mirror of a female beauty pageant. That's what you're doing as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
It's really.
You're also not like helping anybody.
You're not helping anybody.
There's like no charitable aspect of it.
It's so that there's no charitable aspect. There's no sense of use or service to anybody. It's just like I'm just gonna make myself bigger so that I can win a prize for looking good, so that other people can literally judge my physique and say that I look good.
It's super weird.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. If you're a bodybuilder,
stop it.
Stop. That's gay.
Go run.
Yeah,
go. You can't.
Yeah, seriously. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just really got him fired up right now.
Yeah, no, like I very much disdain gym culture.
Yeah, the gym culture. Yeah. No phones. You have a dress code. You have to wear the ugliest outfit possible, actually.
You gotta show me your closet before you go to the gym.
You have to put together the absolute ugliest outfit that you could possibly wear.
Yeah, I mean, it's a danger.
Yeah, and that's all being wrapped up in your own appearance, and that's part of being wrapped up in your accomplishments. And that's the danger. That's the pride. Mm-hmm. It's really easy to fall into pride, and don't let yourself do that.
It's like our parkour episode, which, by the way, is our most popular episode.
Yeah, we should redo that one day.
Yeah, probably. But we talked about, the virtues of being useful for the sake of the community, right? That's kind of the ideal of what all sports and like working out and fitness should be about. Is like, okay, I'm gonna be fit and able to like do charitable works or like
Yeah.
to save people from disasters or like
Right.
or
Or
just
lift heavy
maintain
stuff. Yeah.
my health for my family or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people are like, I'm gonna work out so that I can, perform hard tasks. Well, a lot of people aren't like lifting hay bales or
No, I mean if you are,
or
you probably don't need to work out.
yeah,
If you're
exactly. If
lifting
you
it.
are, you don't probably need to work out. But the thing is like I think us as men we're kind of the human curse for men is to work the land. We're wired for hard work, right? So
Well, go ahead, finish, and then I'll talk about one. Go ahead.
no, what were you gonna say? No, no,
I
no.
was gonna say it's not well. Just go ahead and finish.
Yeah, yeah. So I was gonna say like, I think for us as men, the human curse is to work the land. We're wired for hard work. Um, so a lot of us aren't doing hard work, especially in the modern age. We're not lifting hay bales or farming the land or whatever. We're not doing any of that stuff. And so because we're not doing that, there is a correlation between like depression and anxiety and not working out or not doing hard labor for men at least.
Yeah.
For women as well, but like intense like rigorous physical work
Yeah.
does help with depression and anxiety. And going to the gym and doing intense, rigorous workouts can, it can be a medicine for depression and anxiety, especially
Yeah.
in the modern age because we're not doing stuff like working the land or lifting hay bales or that sort of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it is true like in Genesis the curse is like you will now toil, but like our original purpose is to tend the earth, right? Like
Yeah.
our original purpose is to be like stewards of creation, and that entails like physical labor. Like so, physical labor was a part of Eden from like the outset. So that is why there's this disconnect, this spiritual disconnect when people don't do a physical thing, right? And it's also just like of course like working out is going to like fire off dopamine and stuff in your brain,
Yeah.
um, and like if you're getting your dopamine from a screen or like drugs or something, then that's going to be bad, right? So you should produce like natural dopamine, which happens from activity
Yeah.
and human connection,
And human,
and almost like every Christian virtue will produce dopamine for you,
right.
even like charitable works and self-denial and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
No,
guys.
so bottom line, sports is good. Your body's good.
Yep.
Obviously, like everything in this fallen world, you have to watch out and be on guard from the devil lurking to snatch up your soul.
Yeah.
All right, but that does not negate like the benefits that sports has, and especially now with our overly globalized society, like communities are harder and harder to actually find.
Yep.
Right? This is like a very obvious problem, especially in America. So if a sport can allow you a community that is tight knit, where you actually know the people that are there,
Right.
where the families know each other, right?
That's a great point because, like, even like a high school, how many people were in JV? It was like 3,000 people.
Yeah.
3,000 people in our graduating class,
Yeah, I don't know.
right? Something like that, something crazy like that. You're not gonna know.
No.
It's gonna be really hard to make friends and that sort of with the people with that sort of numbers, right? With all those people. But being in a sport, sort of it. Now you're communing with 20 people. It cuts that down.
Yeah.
To like.
And you're actually communing with them
Yeah, exactly. And you're like
to move towards like a collective
exactly.
goal.
You're
Yeah.
moving towards a collective goal together. You're not going to do that with all 3,000 people.
I'm not gonna do that in math class.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I think sports is good. I think it can be used for evangelization quite effectively. I mean, look at the Celtics guy. Have you seen the Celtics coach? No? He's like super Catholic. It's super cool. He talks about it all the time.
Nice.
He's like going to become a deacon. I think it's the Celtics coach. Whatever. He has like a rosary that's made out of old like the old flooring from the basketball court.
Nice.
It's super
I
simple.
love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a rosary from the quad.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to figure it out.
I think it's the Celtics guy. Joe Mazzulla.
Hey.
Joe Mazzulla, devout Catholic. He walks around with a rosary like at games all the time.
Oh, yeah, I have seen this guy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This was a good episode.
All right, my friends.
I like this conversation.
Yup.
Gosh, I have to pee so bad.
Don't. Look, there it is. Look. That's his.
Oh, I love that. That's sick.
It's just like squares from the floor.
Heck yeah.
Okay, well, that was the New Covenant podcast on the theology of sports.
The theology of sports.
Or the right place of sports in our society. It can be a tool. We should use it for the betterment of our society and for the glory of God. And we should stay away from vain pursuits, which I think that's the whole thing.
I love it. All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment down below what you thought. If you have any thoughts, if you have any thoughts about what we should do next, leave a comment down below. Follow us on Instagram at the New Covenant Pod. Substack. What is our? I always forget our Substack.
Newcovenant.substack.com.
Newcovenant.substack.com. TheNewCovenant.substack.com. Like or dislike if you didn't like this video. Comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Check out our most recent article, which is now our new most popular article called The English Sin, America's Lost Patronage, all about the English Reformation and why America would have been Catholic without King Henry VIII.
Thanks, guys.
Bada bing.